I actually think in some ways, the lazier you are, if you can get over the initial hump, the more successful you can be. Because what happens is if you give a hardworking person a problem, they give you a hardworking solution. If you give a lazy person a problem, they'll give you a lazy man solution.
What's the easiest way to do this?
Right.
Working smarter, not harder is good, but not working at all is genius. This video is not like the rest of the videos on YouTube, where you're going to hear the same boring advice like the 80-20 rule or prioritization or whatever. But what if I told you being lazy is actually a good thing? And before you freak out, you're probably like, I'm trying to beat laziness. What are you saying? But there's two kinds of lazy. There's the lazy type of person where he doesn't want to work at all, where he's an actual couch potato. And then there's the other kind of lazy where you might want to work. You want to work hard, but you also want to have the maximum results with the minimal effort, right? That's the kind of person I'm talking about, which is probably you, and that's probably why you clicked on this video. So you don't actually want to beat laziness. It's actually good for you. And I'm not trying to justify low work ethic, so chill out. And if you're a university student, you could probably relate to this quick story. When you sat in your boring university class, and your professor gives you an assignment to do, which is due by the end of the class, you and your friend would probably look at each other, have the same idea. You just wait for him to go to the other side of the classroom, and then you'd always end up finishing before the smart people. Not because you're smarter, but because you use ChatGPT. So you're always looking for ways to let someone else do the heavy lifting for you. So that way you can work on the more important stuff, like business, health, family, seeking ilm. If it wasn't for laziness, you would be a happy slave working for someone 60 hours a week without ever questioning why you're spending so much time working. If it wasn't for laziness, you wouldn't want to be financially free. You wouldn't want to retire early so that way you can focus on more important stuff. If it wasn't for laziness, you wouldn't be searching for how to get maximum results with minimal effort. So you can sit there and complain that you want to beat laziness, or you can use it to your advantage and flex your creativity muscles and be friends with laziness so you can actually figure out how to get more results in a shorter amount of time, inshallah. So there's three ways I've actually concluded to leverage your laziness. The first advice is to choose when to be a retard. I myself am an absolute retard the moment I eat bad sugar and carbs. My brain shuts down completely, and I genuinely can't think about anything complex at all. And if you think about it, it's kind of like drugs. Like drugs make people retards. Eating bad sugar and bad carbs is just like a lower level of retardation. The first advice is to choose when to be a retard. I myself am an absolute retard the moment I eat bad sugar or carbs. The moment I eat bad sugar or carbs, my brain shuts down completely. Like it genuinely doesn't want to think about anything complex at all. And if you think about it, drugs turn people into retards. Absolute retards. Eating bad sugar and bad carbs is like a lower level of retardation. Like if you've ever been sedated, you know the feeling of being awake and aware, but you're extremely relaxed. Like you get even a bit sleepy. Your brain is like slower and quieter, right? That's literally what happens to me anytime I eat bad sugar or carbs. Anytime. And probably for you too. That's usually when you become the most mindless as well. And in that moment, you're not going to 10x your productivity. You're going to 10x your procrastination. So what you want to do instead is choose when to be a retard. All right? So at the very least, choose to be a retard after you finish your important work. The third piece of advice, place the ladder so your future self doesn't have to climb the wall. There's a productivity concept that I believe will change your life forever. And it's called the law of least effort, which basically says that make the effort so low for your future self to make doing a habit so irresistibly easy that your future self would feel stupid not doing it. The third piece of advice: place the ladder for your future self so he doesn't have to climb the wall. And there's a productivity concept that changed my life forever, and it's called the law of least effort, which basically means lower the effort for your future self to the point where you make it so irresistibly easy for him to do, to the point where he'd feel stupid not doing it. Place the ladder so your future self doesn't have to climb the wall. For example, I used to have braces, and now I have to wear retainers before I go to sleep. Sometimes I'd forget, or I just don't feel like wearing them, to be honest. So, what I do is to make sure I guaranteed remember to wear them, and guaranteed make sure that I do wear them, even if I do remember and don't feel like it, I'll put the retainers on my pillowcase in the morning. So that way, when it comes time to go to sleep, all I have to do is put it on. Like it's right there. I'm in bed. My head is literally resting on the pillow. All I have to do is put it in. And I just realized I made it sound like I put the actual retainer on the pillowcase. It's in a case. So chill out. I'm not that disgusting. And it's the law of least effort that we're going to use for the rule of one. So, for example, let's say you're done with 1 hour of deep work. Right before you close your computer, open it back up real quick, close all your tabs, and leave one tab open. And that one tab is going to be the thing that you want to continue working on the next time you come back to open your computer. So the next day you come to work on it, all you have to do is literally open the computer and bam, your work is already right in front of you. All you got to do is start working. So you're lowering the effort for your future self, lowering the willpower for him to make it irresistibly easy for him to just start. So you place the ladder for your future self so he doesn't have to climb the wall. So just to quickly wrap up, the three ways you can leverage your laziness and use it to your advantage is one, choose when to be a retard. At the very least, don't be a retard and eat bad sugar and carbs before your important work. Choose to be a retard at least after you finish your important work. And the second thing is to use the rule of one mission, 1 hour, 1 day at a time. The third thing is to place the ladder for your future self so he doesn't have to climb the wall, right? Use the law of least effort. Lower the resistance for him, lower the willpower. So all he has to do is start working. That's it for today. Assalamu alaikum.